now. And if your opponent does not have the great lockdown on you, like for example, the Hurricane Dance is there, but it's incredible if you do pin down the Lunox. But what the Lunox can just do is just pop the ultimate, and all of a sudden your Akai has wasted the ultimate, right? So as long as there's no catch on the Lunox, it is viable because there's still so much damage potential from the specific hero.
Looks like this show did not use the way of the dragon, and he got taken out by the Ling Boon. Decides to join the party, but he is a tad bit too late. Turtle still available for the taking.
There is an arrival play in the bottom lane. I think that's the X-Borg. No, it's not. It's gonna be cancelled actually. Very smart move. They fended off a little bit, that Kimi. But up top, there is a little bit of pressure from the Masha in there. Now, look at Tan. Ooh, nice wild charge away with the knock-up. And he will be able to defend this. The Revitalize is there, so they are completely safe. Nice play coming out from Tan.
Nice timing from Chill right there. Jumped straight in and was able to take down the Takai. Another kill going in over to the red side. Here we have Kimi charging in that ultimate, but apparently it is not enough to take out that very tanky Cho. And Turtle has been taken by the marksman of Singapore.
And what you have to do as Singapore right now is to take away all of these objectives, all these bonus gold from your opponents. And that's what they're doing. They're taking out the Turtle as soon as possible, even when the Kimi is available for Team Malaysia.
Here we have Ling just gliding all throughout the map, but here 3 people applying so much pressure at the bot lane. Boon using that third skill to try and clear out the waves, and here we have Lim. He is not even afraid to actually be the frontliner, and they were able to take out the creeps almost immediately.
And there was a contest on the buff, but it will be secured by the Ling on the side of Team Malaysia. And obviously they can defend this easily because of the presence of the Kimi and as well as this Hylos. Singapore, it's actually hard for them to take a turret down if they don't take away heroes first. And I think that is what Malaysia should be banking on. Do not let Singapore push and push and push, because this carry will get fat quicker than your Kimi.
That's true. I mean, they can group together, but they also have to keep in mind that we have to make sure the carry, there won't be any space for this carry. 2-man knockup from Furusawa, but looks like he came there a bit too deep and he gets taken out.
So that is quite weird that they committed for that. I thought that they would just back down, but that they gave away a kill from the Cho. Don't want to give away free stuff at this point, but Singapore, they still are in control. They have to defend top, however, as pressure is there from the Masha.
I believe they didn't know that Ling had the ultimate because they were pretty taken aback. Oh, wait, we got AoE'd by the ultimate from Ling, and by that time Furusawa on this show just had nothing to do, but it looks like Gary almost took out that Hylos, but Hylos was able to pop that glorious pathway at the nick of time.
No, Kimi in trouble. They will take down the Grok and the Ling as well. Kimi still being chased out by the Cho, and because of the Lunox in there, you know what's gonna happen. That's a kill on the Kimi. Singapore with a very nice find, taking down the positions 1 and 2 for the team.
Almost 8 minutes right now. 4 kills for the blue side and 6 kills for the red side. Gold advantage though is on Team Singapore. And Turtle already up, non-contested so far because Chong and this Masha, they have their own duels. Like if you guys notice, these two haven't left the top lane yet.
Yeah, well, there will be a fight up top. That is the Masha versus the X-Borg. We cannot see it as of this moment. It seems like the Masha is losing because of the presence of the Grok. Grok able to take out the Masha while into the middle. A little bit of buff steals in there. I think the Lunox was able to secure it, so that's also another big plus and bonus for Singapore.
The tank Cho already picking up his Athena shield, so he can have more breathing space and has more sustain for his team. But look at the discipline that Team Singapore has right now. They just want to go with objectives. Lunox securing that second turtle.
Wow, okay, so there is an arrival play down the bottom. The Cho wants to fish for the Kimi, and indeed he will. Wave the Dragon, gonna be committed, and it's gonna be an easy kill for Singapore. Same place that what the Kimi was picked up earlier, but this time Brilliant's already committed. Then he would just fight. He was face the Ling, but the Ling will be safe for this moment. That's a double kill for the Ling.
Yep, that was a 2-for-1 trade, but now in favor of Team Malaysia. You know what? I believe what Lunox could have done there, instead of sidestepping to the left, he could have sidestepped up
Yeah.
just so he can have more space for him, because the moment he used his ultimate, the Darkening, Akai just knew, you know what, if I can just spin him to the wall, this is an easy kill.
Yeah, if they do get the pins, but it's not that easy at this point for Singapore. They can dictate the fights right now. They own the tempo control. They decide where we fight. They decide where the skirmishes are. They decide how to defend. And look at that. What a wild charge coming out from Tan. And now the flicker away from the
That's
Akai.
Tan.
But he will not escape the members of Singapore. And that's another kill.
2-for-0 in favor of the men in red. Golden Staff already being picked up by Kai right here. You just gotta respect the initiate potential from this show and the follow-up damage coming in from this X-Borg. Last Insanity, almost always on point.
Almost always on point indeed. Now Ling actually shows himself not, well, plenty of energy, but he has to back away as of this moment. Well, that's not energy. I think that's called lightness, but the way of the dragon committed in there. They do have the Growth Pathway. They have already committed in this time. Yuko.
Oh my goodness, Ling already committed her ultimate, and looks like the Kim is actually free hitting from the sides, but a sustain coming in from Team Singapore is real. Ling able to get out, no casualties for both teams, but they are eyeing this buff. They want to secure it just so no one will be able to steal it from them. Lord already up. Masha just taking her time there at the top lane.
By the way, while that happened, Xborg was able to push up the top lane. No casualties for Singapore in exchange for a turret, a tier 2 turret. I think that is already so good for Team Singapore. This time they will try to look and just to see if the Lord is being taken by Singapore, but actually Singapore is not. In terms of scouting around the Lord area, I think that Malaysia does have the superior vision because of the fact that they have Ling, but they have to just identify where Team Singapore is. I don't think that they can get the Lord themselves.
Actually, even though they do have the slight advantage when it comes to map awareness, I don't think it's enough, because Team Singapore here, they're almost constantly moving around. So if Ling is able to provide some information, they have to quickly act on it, like how this Cho act on this high loss. He did use his ultimate, but it is just not enough. Of course, does damage for days, and Ling did try to save his teammate there, but apparently nothing happened. This Akai uses Hurricane Dance, but it is not enough. He gets taken out, Immortality being popped, and look at the box, the box technique coming in from Team Singapore here. The enemy just cannot do anything. Kimmy forced to go back, but looks like a nice positioning coming in from this Kimmy.
And look at this, an arrival play, a recall player here in the bottom lane just to defend it. I think that they will be on time for this. Singapore not giving away anything to Malaysia, only one turret taken down by Malaysia, even after having the Kimmy and the Masha, will be able to secure their tier 2 onto the bottom, their second turret, but at what cost? The Lord has been slain. Masha apply pressure in the bottom lane, actually getting a kill onto the X-Borg, but will have to concede the Lord against Singapore.
Lord marching right now at the mid lane, going towards the blue side, going towards Malaysia, and it's safe to say that the carry is quite online now. Carry already has the Endless Battle and the Golden Staff. Tan though got chased there, but I guess this Masha just decided to not commit.
No. It's smart to not commit at this point. You have to be careful about whatever you are doing against Team Singapore. You already lost your inhibitor turret in the mid lane. You cannot lose more. Unfortunately, Team Singapore, they do have the better late game with the Lunox and the carry in there. At a certain point, this X-Work is gonna hurt. And it's very tanky against his opponent. So more and more, even when the Ling is available for Team Malaysia, they are slowly losing this battle. They need something right now. They have to find a kill. They have to find a good pickoff and maybe get a big objective after that.
Even if Ling will be able to go online by the late game, Ling is just too squishy. I mean, if Ling gets caught out by Cho, by Grok, it's the end.
Yeah, could be, should be. I guess the timing of when this Ling will come into the fight should be the priority for Malaysia to think about. They have to figure out when to go. And it seems like they will try to go his pathway this time. But, oh, of course, the damage coming out from the car is just way too much.
Looks like that was the opening that their Cho needed, and looks like Team Singapore is just barging onto the base of Malaysia. What will these 4 people do? Hurricane, that's going to be committed right there, and he was able to zone out Cho, and nice ultimate coming in from this link connecting onto that the last insanity, but it looks like the sustain is just so real for the red team right now, and this Akai got knocked up. Kimi just at the back line. That was a bit of a wrong play coming in from Team Singapore. Akai did just flicker, jump straight in onto this Cho's face, and looks like this expert got taken out. Is this it, sir? And Tan just trying to get away, but he is being chased by 2 people. Take note, that is a Masha. Wild Charge connecting, and look like it could be a turnaround. Looks like it won't be it though, because Kimi is just right there, but Tan gets to make it out there alive, but will he be able to do so though? Man, so many plot twists.
This is what they're doing is just to not let this Grok recall. They will be able to find him. We'll get a turret this time. Lunox will be available. So this is 2 versus 5 in terms of defense. Lunox does have plenty of wave clear with her, but he does have to be careful this time. But Malaysia will respect Singapore at this moment, will not overly extend against Singapore even after that monumental fight for them.
And speaking of that monumental fight, because of that, they were able to even things out with Singapore. The next clash will be so crucial and so important for the 2 of them. Either teams, if they can just take out 2 or maybe even 3 people, they get the game.
They will get the game indeed. And what had a fight for Team Malaysia, able to hold on against Singapore. We are at 15 minutes in. We can honestly say that the carry is more scalable comparably to the Kimi, but with the presence of the Ling, you cannot really say. And if this Grok continues to play well, I mean, the Akai, if he gets to find that Hurricane dance like he did before, there could be a chance for Team Malaysia to get back to this game. Or at least, turn it around against Singapore.
Just one Hurricane dance to maybe carry or even show, and that's it. That's just one of the checklists for Team Malaysia right here. Next objective, the Lord gonna be up in 8 seconds. So of course, that will be the next point of contention for these 2 teams. But looks like the red side, they are already positioning themselves to take out this very important Lord.
A very important Lord indeed. It's gonna be really intense for both teams. So important this is. Look at the scouting potential from the Ling. They know where the Ling is. They don't necessarily have the fight in them. They don't have the control. But you see, even with just some of the light wheel marks is more than enough. Nice block from the Grok, but they found the Masha. This is going to be bad, but the Hurricane Dance is going to be there to save this Masha. Can they run away? They are trying their best, but the Akai goes down first. That's round number 1. Ultimate from the Ling. It's going to be used, but it's up against 3, 4 members of Singapore. In fact, even 5. It won't matter. Oh my goodness, but what they're doing right now is just to put the Masha in, but a very nice arrival play from the X-Borg will stop this push. Oh no!
But while there was a very intense fight at the mid lane, Masha was going one-on-one against X-Borg and was able to put a hole onto the base of Team Singapore. X-Borg was able to kill her though, but that does not neglect the fact that she was able to do something. Nice stun coming in there, and looks like here comes Kimi.
Oh,
this time, the Lim receiving a lot of damage. The marksman is down for Team Singapore side. Suppressed on this Mr. Buna, but looks like he got taken out, and blue side, they are now trying to take the Lord. Ling gets taken out. Will they be able to steal it? Looks like that is a no. Lord has been secured by the Kimi right here.
That is the immortality pop for the Hylos, but I think he's already done his job, taking so much attention at this point. Will go down for sure. But Singapore had to commit so much. They lost their carry, they lost their Lunox, they lost their inhibitor in the bottom lane, and they even lost the Lord Malaysia. Really recovering from this game. Now I would dare say that this is an even fight. Anybody can take it.
Well, looks like the death timer for the mage is a tad bit too high, but the Lord is still marching here towards the bot lane for Asara, along with 2 other people, is just gonna secure that buff because Akai wants to take it for himself.
Wow, Masha forcing out the chaos against Singapore, forcing Singapore to react to her, which made Malaysia find some opening into that Lord take. And after, you know what, they sacrificed 1 hero to take down the carry, and that stun
It's worth
connecting
it
from
though.
the Hylos into the ultimate of the Link, finding him through the backlines is more than worth it indeed.
And the Team Singapore now just forced to focus on this Lord, and they will immediately take him out though. But Team Malaysia already there waiting at the outside part of Singapore's base. Ultimates available for everyone. So it's a matter of, will Akai be able to do a hurricane dance, a really good hurricane dance, or will Cho be able to land his perfect way of the dragon?
Wow, 19 minutes in, we still don't know who can win. It's an even fight. Both teams getting their fair share of the Lord. However, it's Singapore to secure 2 inhibitor turrets, Malaysia to take just 1. In terms of the economy, it's a little bit of lead for Team Malaysia, but at this point, it doesn't matter anymore. The teams have already reached their full pack mode, wherein they already get their lock item, their items, the full items, and maybe start selling their boots in favor of a better item.
Man, Masha just starving out the red side right now. Look, she's actually committing her time just getting and cleaning all of the neutral jungle creeps. And here we have Kimi just rotating all over the map to see if there are any other resources that she can take for herself. The 2 tanks said hi, but of course we're not gonna see a full-on fight.
Yeah, not a full-on fight. Look at this. 2 players staying. They know that they cannot mess against each other. Okay, that was a weird blender usage.
Just to check, maybe. Come on.
Just to check. It's not the way of the dragon yet. Only the speedy light wheel commanded by the carry, but we know that it's a very low cooldown ultimate. Not really much committal on that one. That's Ling. Where is the Ling? It's actually going back to the base.
Nice Guardian's Barrier here from the Grok, making sure that no one will be able to go near their buff. So now it's pretty much the calm before the storm. No one's doing anything, but if there is an opening though, I'm pretty sure the tanks will do something about it.
Oh, definitely. It's a matter of how you find those openings, right? Or how you create your opportunities to get an opening. So what I'm trying to say is maybe create chaos in some part of the map so that your opponents will commit to you, or at least will be having to decide where to go. That's a proactive approach in the late game that I think Malaysia should be doing right now, because Singapore, they are so comfortable with what they have. And to be fair, even when Malaysia does have the economic advantage over Singapore, you cannot deny the fact that this carry and this Lunox will hit hard at this stage of the game.
Man, you are in your full-on analyst zone,
Of
man.
course.
That was a lot of information, like less than a minute.
Of course.
Sir Wolf wants some action, and
Alright.
Lord gonna be up in 3 seconds. So apparently, these 2 teams were just trying to bid their time up until the next Lord will be up. Also, thank you so much to people explaining to the other viewers that this is an English stream. Yes, this is an English stream.
This is an English stream, an international broadcast. And this is Malaysia versus Singapore that you're watching. There will be time for a
Ooh.
clash. Look at this.
Thousand
The
pounder
X-Borg up top and the Masha down the bottom. Both of them wanting to make a play that will disrupt their opponent's movements.
4 people here at the mid lane. That is a lot of pressure, but that is only Akai and the Kimi in the mid lane.
Well, they found the
the
Hylos. They
dragon.
with the dragon, but
Really, are you gonna commit on the Hylos? Looks like they will, and the Glorious Pathway already being committed. But let's say the red team forced to go back, and of course using the wild charge just so he'll be able to back away.
Ooh, that hurts.
Ling already used the ultimate, and he was just forced to go back. Now the Sakai is actually locked into the side of Team Singapore.
does have the 1,000-pounder, but the plan was to have the Masha onto the bottom and force the X-Borg to react. That was the plan all along. Ling already, because if you see the minimap, if you look at the minimap and see when the Ling activated the ultimate, that was also the right time where the Masha went into the base of Singapore and X-Borg had to commit. So it is both Malaysia doing a great job misdirecting the attention of Singapore, but Singapore quick to react to whatever they are doing.
I mean, look at all the potions that we see on the red side right
Yeah.
now. I've been seeing them since earlier, so that's a lot of adjustment just so they can withstand and go up against the damage, the consistent damage output that Kimi has right now. Lord still being
Oh, Ling.
oh, That was so close for Lim, though. Ling forced to use her ultimate, but she was still able to get away. Furusawa tried to target that Akai, but Akai
We
was
saw
just
the
quick
carry.
to jump away. Carry got taken out. No marksman for almost 1 minute, but it looks like Boone targeted Ling as well. 1-for-1 trade.
Oh, here comes the mashup, but a very nice side into the wave. The Dragon needs to really control. No more HP bars. He goes down. The Hurricane, that's far too late. No more Glorious Pathway just yet. It will be used this time, but they don't have their Ling or their Masha at this point. There is the Lunox dealing the damage. Immortality popped, and Malaysia slowly losing their heroes. That's the third one to bite the dust. Oh no, he's quite tanky. That's the Hylos still surviving at this point. Not anymore, as the Lunox deals the percent-based damage on to that Hylos, and this might mean that Singapore will look towards taking the Lord.
The confidence this ex-Bork has to just jump in and use Last Insanity, because he knows he has immortality, and like what we said, if you get revived by the immortality, you will still have your Firaga armor.
That's right. And you can, if your ultimate is available, is off cooldown, yes, you can use it as well. But of course, not to full effect. But that's still a free tumble away if you do find it. And what's going to happen now is that Singapore is going to take the Lord uncontested. They took their time, but they have plenty. And it's going to take a miracle for them to get it. But no, it's going to be the Last Insanity to secure it.
They did try, and now Akari uses Flicker just to make sure that he will be able to back away. So, Lord, a very beefy and strong Lord, is now onto the side of Team Singapore. For the red side, they just need good positioning for Lim right here, because as far as I'm concerned, he hasn't placed himself properly yet. He usually gets caught out by the Ling.
Which is weird, right? Because, you know, I guess this is the mastery of Nurola on this Ling, because if you know exactly how much damage you can deal, you can be very wise about your decisions about the Ling. And so far, I think Nurola knows how much damage he can deal against this carry, and that's why he was able to always go for the carry. And without the carry for Singapore, much of their damage has been very nice. Conceal play, 2-man knock-up. They want to go for the Hylos. They have the damage from the carry, but the Glorious Pathway is going to be there to sustain this Hylos. The Hurricane Dance is going to be used, but now he's threatened. No more Hurricane Dance. He's taking the damage from the carry, and the carry will be able to take him down.
Carry hurt so much. Marksman for days, but Tim got silent here, receiving a lot of damage. But now Furusawa was able to knock up that Hylos, but Killing Spree coming over to the side of Singapore, and Hylos got taken out by this carry. Make that too, because the guy got taken out as well, and this could possibly be it. Game 1 going over to Team Singapore.
What a play from the Grok. I think the Grok was the one who finished the game. That was the closer. So what happened is, Kling was already charging up his ultimate, right? And you know when that ultimate will land. It was perfectly, I would say it would have hit 4 heroes. But what he did was, just at the right moment when the Ling was about to jump in, he went for the wild charge, knocking up that Ling, and the Ling couldn't finish his ultimate. And that was so well done from this Grok. You have to give it to that Grok, and of course the whole team of Singapore.
That's true. No ultimates for Ling
Wow.
apparently in that last clash. Also, I just have to mention the Grok as well, because I noticed something. The moment Cho used Way of the Dragon, he delivered, I think that was Hylos Arakai to his teammate, and there was an immediate Guardian's Barrier.
Yeah, so
if ever someone tries to jump in, or if their target tries to jump out.
yeah, which is really good, because that's a very smart move coming out of the Grok, right? Because what you do is not, even when it's just